Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is AtoD number 3. This is the Reverse Captain's Mode tournament. We've got Inphinity +4 versus Eosin +4. My name is Maut. Joining me tonight is F4L. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, actually. You know, I casted the We Play tournament a little earlier, and I gotta say, it's too stressful casting actual games. I'd rather just cast some nice Reverse Captain's Mode, especially with some NA Dota players here, and I want to get your insight. What do you think about, what really, we were talking about this a little bit earlier before the game started, but what do you think is sort of the ideal bans that you should use for these heroes for the first two?
Well, I think that instead of banning, the agi carries that you don't want, because obviously there's a lot of shitty agi carries, that you should just ban 2 strength or 2 intelligence heroes that you don't want, because there's a couple worthless of each, and then it forces them to give you a useful strength or intel hero, because you're going to get useless agility heroes regardless.
Exactly.
But obviously people are going to still ban Meepo, and because, I mean, if you don't have a Meepo player and you get Meepo, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, you're a little screwed in that case, and we saw a little bit yesterday. And Meepo's just one of those heroes where it's like if you have a Meepo player and you're in a good position with your micro and you can get him some room to farm at the beginning of the game, you might be in a good position. But generally, that's not the case from time to time, as we've seen it. Surprisingly enough, Inphinity +4 is changing their captain once again. This time it's KZZ. We're going to see Medusa as well as the Huskar band out. Meepo and the Necrolite. We'll probably see something like a Skeleton King first pick up here or Sniper. And Skeleton King is just such a devastating pick to give to the other team just because he has so little mana for that nuke, and he just doesn't do a whole lot of right-click damage at the beginning of the game. So I expect to see that. But it's going to be Spectre instead, and we saw Spectre a few times yesterday. And Spectre can also be pretty effective. Now with Spectre, I think that maybe you probably want to go for some more damaging items early on, but then again, I've seen some people try to go Vanguard on the Spectre. I'm not sure how that, really affects the play early on. Would you rather see Spectre go for something a little bit more damaging, like that Diffusal Blade a little bit earlier, or just get that Vanguard? I think what happened yesterday was Smurf went the Poor Man's Shield, correct? So would you rather see just trying to go for a little bit more defensive items, or just being aggressive with the Spectre items and just trying to get as much damage as possible?
I think you need to go some early game items. I think Phase Drum is actually really good, because it allows you to have some presence in fights, and you're not like completely worthless until you get your first item. And it also makes you tanky, hard to gank, and you do a lot of damage actually with just those 2 items and Desolate.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and Phase Drum seems to be sort of the popular kind of build to go, I think, for a lot of agility carries nowadays. I've seen it on Gyrocopter a lot. It's built on a lot of carries, actually, not just agility carries as well, of course. Tiny's another hero that comes into mind. I'm missing a few others, but, I mean, there's plenty of... Just the utility that you get, the damage that you get, of course, from just Phase alone, on top of the fact that you get those nice stats coming inside of the drum, are always nice to have. But that being said, Skeleton King and Spirit Breaker here going to be picked up for the side of Eosin +4, also known as What Would Eosin Do? Because apparently Eosin's not even in this game. There are 5 players on an Eosin team, and Eosin is not one of them.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually. I actually think that they should give Infinity OD right now.
5 seconds.
Yeah, that would actually be particularly annoying, just because we talked about it, and you mentioned how useless that hero is in a support capacity. You almost need to give him that solo capacity just to get him farm as well as just sort of dominate the other person in lane. I absolutely agree with you. OD would be a very, very good pickup here, I think, to send over to Infinity +4, but they'd probably find a way to make it work anyways. Apparently, I don't know if you fixed this already, but your microphone isn't working in-game. I don't know if you have it turned on or not.
Do I need to have voice enabled? Console?
Well, you just have to have, just go to audio
wait,
and
no,
then
this
enable
gives me...
the mic.
Oh, let's see.
Do you actually use a microphone when you play Dota?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, that's part of your problem too, I guess. I don't know if voice can actually be enabled or disabled. I didn't know that was an option, but I don't know. Anyways.
Okay, I think
If you see a little chat bubble next to your whenever you speak, then you know it's working.
Okay.
Dire team pick.
We'll get it sorted out.
Hold on.
It's alright, guys.
Radiant team back.
Just turn your voice volume up, and then actually I don't know, and then open mic threshold.
Maybe
I set to mid. I don't know.
to mid?
Yeah, I set open mic threshold right in the middle. I don't know if really that does anything, but
Okay, well I think it should work now, but I'm not sure. I have voice disabled,
can
so I
you?
can't actually. Okay, I guess I can enable it and then see if I see myself talking.
Yeah, if you enable it and then you don't see yourself talking, just turn it off and then back on again in the audio settings.
Wait, where am I supposed to see a bubble?
It's on. Actually, you know what? You won't see it.
I don't see it until we're in game, right?
You know what? We're going crazy because I just realized that you won't see it until we're in game. That's exactly right. God.
I was like, I don't see any bubbles.
This is like clowning around trying to get our audio settings to work, but that's fine because honestly, what are we going to say during a reverse captain's mode draft? Because I can really never get in the heads of KZZ or Broccoli for that matter when you're picking for the other team. You never really know what you're going to get. But that being said, we're going to see Shadow Fiend picked up here for Eosin +4, Death Prophet and Sniper for Inphinity +4. Some bands coming out right now: Huskar, the Lycan, which is interesting, the Timbersaw, Riki and Zeus for the side of Eosin +4. Necrolite was their second band, by the way. So 2 more bands to go. OD still available. Do you see any like glaring? I'm trying to think of any glaring heroes that might be. Bloodseeker could be one of them.
I'm actually really surprised by these heroes. Like, they gave them Death Prophet, who's actually pretty useful. I mean, you can actually run Death Prophet as sort of a support because it has a decent nuke and silence. And Shadow Fiend is definitely not a terrible agility hero. He can farm actually really well in this mode
10 seconds.
because there's not really any gankers or any potential for them to roam on him mid.
Dire team back.
And obviously he has 900 damage and nukes.
Radiant
Yeah, that's going to be pretty nice to have as well. So that is true. The Death Prophet also very surprising to me as well. I think Exorcism is going to be a big deal if the Death Prophet can get to that point. As it gets to level 6, I think they'll be able to push towers and just take fights pretty effectively. So,
Yeah. I'm actually. They could have given him them OD.
they chose against it though. But they will ban the OD for whatever reason. I'm not sure.
Oh, I lost you for a second. I was saying they could have given them OD, but instead they decided to ban it.
Yeah, they did ban the OD there. That is actually an interesting. I'm not sure why they did that, but then again, I think Infinity +4 they've actually played with the OD before previously, and it worked really well with them. I think they sent the OD mid though. They're gonna send him Kunkka though, and I don't know about that one. That's kind of strange to me. I think that Kunkka could be very effective in this mode. Like Tidebringer, that hurts. Like.
Yeah,
Ship?
Complexity actually used to run Kunkka as a support hero, as a forward hero, and Fluff used to play it
God,
occasionally.
I remember that. I remember them doing
It's
that.
sort of like a pocket strat type of thing,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a hero that's actually really good as a support. So I'm actually surprised that they gave them that hero.
I am as well. I mean, like,
Well, I guess they were forced to give them a strength hero, and they banned Wisp like in...
reserve tower.
I actually don't know the pool very well because I'm not looking at the heroes.
that's the problem with me too. Whenever I'm like theory crafting about captain's mode or reverse captain's mode, I'm just like, I have no idea what heroes they can choose from because I have no, like, there's no
Oh.
chart here for me on the side. I feel like they should add that.
I think Slardar would have been a much better option because he doesn't have any ranged stuns or disables, and he can't really be played very well as a support, although I'm sure people try in this mode because you don't really have a choice.
Yeah. Silencer, an interesting pickup here for the side of Eosin +4, so they're going to send him that way. Apparently you're still not audible in-game, but we're going to fix that somehow.
We'll
I'm going to
fix
make
it.
that our mission.
Yeah, once the game starts, we can fix it.
Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm trying to
I'm
think of
actually...
what went
These
wrong.
lanes are going to be pretty good for both
5
sides,
seconds
actually.
remaining.
Like, they're probably... I imagine that Eosin might try to do maybe an aggressive lane with Skeleton King, Silencer, and whatever they get last.
Dire team pick.
And that could be
And then-
good, because that's a lot of damage. I mean, Silencer can do a lot of damage early on. If you go for Curse of the Silent, I think, which would probably be the best bet for them if they decide to do that. And of course, Skeleton King has that stun. But they're going to send, of course, Bloodseeker over to Infinity +4. That's the hero that I was really most concerned about, and it's a tough hero as well. But now we'll see the last pickup here. Infinity +4 has 28 seconds of reserve time right now.
10
So
seconds remaining.
we're going to see what they decide to send over. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really don't... Like, when it comes down to thinking about how they're going to lane this, usually in, like, regular Captain's mode, I have a pretty good understanding of what the lanes are going to be. But in this mode, it's like, especially with the team that Infinity has, I mean, if you can theory craft it, go for it. But I certainly have no idea.
Huh. I think they're gonna run Kunkka Death Prophet support,
10
maybe
seconds
with the
remaining.
Spectre, and then solo the Bloodseeker and Sniper. That's
Okay.
my guess. But I don't know if it's gonna be a safe lane or an aggressive tri lane. They could do either, actually. Most likely it's gonna be... I actually don't know. They could aggressive. They might aggressive just because they think the other team's gonna aggressive. But we'll have to see. I mean, they could literally do anything with these heroes. I mean,
That's the problem. That is the problem with...
it's not like you have a Darkseer where it's like, that hero is definitely an offlaner.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a Mag or something, where there's only 2 places for him to go.
Speaking of heroes that we've seen before, Razor. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, and you think this, and I agree with you. Razor is actually a good hero for this mode,
10 seconds
especially
remaining.
if there are no disables, of course, because when you think about it, Razor static link, pretty nice to have. So,
Prepare for battle.
you know, and on top of that, his nuke, so good early on. Plasma Field's a great ability. Are you working on your mic?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to work.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, and also, Razor, like, his Link is really good when they don't have disables, and he has innately high movement speed, so he's hard to kill without disables.
Yes, that's also another good point. And looking at, let's get into some introductions real quick while we're waiting for the game to start. On the side of the Radiant, Eosin +4, we're going to see Rorgok on the Razor. Broccoli's going to be on the Skeleton King. Fun will be on the Spirit Breaker. We're going to see heading mid, Felony, who's apparently muted, according to him, #muted or something like that. And on the bottom lane, Hydra will be on the Shadow Fiend. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. On the side of Infinity +4, Clairvoyance will be solo bottom lane on the Spectre right now. KZZ will be on the Bloodseeker. Looks like he's going to be going for Jungle Bloodseeker, which is something we saw a few days ago, actually, and it didn't work out too well, but we'll see how KZZ can handle it. Banana's in your face on the Death Prophet, and we're going to see up here in the top lane, Infinity will be on the Kunkka, and Universe will be on the Sniper, so we'll see how things go here. They're looking for the first rune. Will it be top? Will it be bottom? Let's check.
The battle begins.
It is bottom. And
Bottom.
Clairvoyance will take a haste rune, no problem, but that's not going to give him too much. I don't think he'll go for a gank, but oh wow, meanwhile there's a lot of action happening already. Infinity very low in health actually, taking a static link, a little bit of damage stolen. He actually got a nice torn off to save his life as well, so...
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised that they're running Silencer as a mid-hero instead of a support. Mostly because it's actually their only legitimate support hero that they were given.
But I think the reason behind that is that they think that Silencer can dominate the Death Prophet here. I'm not sure how true that is, but they're just kind of placing all their hopes, of course, on Felony right now in the mid lane. Meanwhile, top lane, Rorgak coming in here. They're blocking the creep camps. They have, of course, a nice little... well, there's a sentry here, actually, from the side of Infinity. Make sure there's no wards going on from the side of the Radiant, but they did block it off by just using their bodies, I believe, so that's not going to be available to them. Infinity is going to be up here. It looks like Universe is going to be trying to get some farm, as you can see, on that Sniper, which he'll do a good job of, I think, because he does have... he'll get take aim, which will allow him to get some more range and just get away from sort of that killing area, that killing zone essentially. But immediately Universe is charged. As you can see, they're looking for a kill here. Static link going. Universe in some trouble right now. This is definitely going to be first blood. Nice body blocks from Fun, and Broccoli gets the kill. Definitely a good job there.
Yeah, that was really good. This tri-lane actually has like really good kill potential. I mean, they can go on Kunkka or Sniper and it's almost a for sure kill. Because after the charge they can just get static link and the SK stun, and the Razor is going to start doing over 100 damage a hit.
Which is an insane amount of damage. And that's what we saw yesterday, too. I mean, like, when you played it and when Bulba played it as well, they would just steal damage like no tomorrow, and they would absolutely just go to town. You guys would just absolutely dominate. Looking at the last hit charts right now, 8 for the Bloodseeker currently, 10 for the Death Prophet, 9 for the Silencer, and 6 for the Spectre. So Spectre's doing alright. Of course, Sniper going down to that first blood. Everything's pretty even early on, but they're already chasing KZZ in the jungle. They actually just warded this little small creep camp here. Meanwhile, Rorgak stealing, of course, some mana there. They have no disable, so that's a lot, or not mana, excuse me, damage here. That's already 56 damage stolen. Death Prophet coming in. There's a charge on a Universe right now. Fun. Has no mana anymore right now. Here comes Bananas in your face. He already used his Script Swarm. He's going to try to get some mana to go for it. Infinity, no disables right now. He does not have that Torrent. So they're just trying to do some damage. That static link damage is still stolen for another few seconds, but it's off cooldown again. Razor can use it if they want to, and they're actually not going to get a kill there or anything like that. So immediately, just back. Actually, they might have lost somebody. I'm not sure.
They lost, I think the Skeleton... No, they lost Razor. There was a good rotation by the Death Prophet to just come and nuke him.
Absolutely.
He actually dodged the Torrent like really well. I actually thought he was going to get hit by it, but he barely dodged the edge of it, and then he almost lived, but
Not quite.
not quite.
Exactly. Down in the bottom lane right now, we're going to look at Spectre versus, of course, the Shadow Fiend. This is an interesting matchup, one that I would not have expected. Now, Hydra's sitting at 14 stacks of Necromastery, and that's level 2 Necromastery, so he's doing a pretty good job right now. He's sitting at, of course, 10 last hits, and when he gets that Necromastery to even higher stacks, it's going to be pretty nice for him to last hit. Of course, he has his raises as well. No bottle or anything right now, so his mana regen is not there. Spectral Dagger's going to go from Clairvoyance, going to just try to do some damage. I want to keep my eyes peeled top as well. His Universe could be got on, essentially, at any point in time. He'll throw a Shrapnel out, which is going to be nice to harass, and even almost last hit, but things should be able to get denied pretty quickly. But mid, I think, is probably the most interesting matchup right now here with the Death Prophet and Silencer. We'll see who comes out on top right now. It's very even in this lane so far.
Yeah, it's pretty even, except for the kill that Death Prophet has when he rotated top.
And that's going to be important later on in the game, I think. He already has his battle right now and boots. No boots just yet for the Silencer. He actually has a Bracer instead. He might have boots flying out to him in just a moment. I don't believe so. He'll buy them next. But Silencer going for a Bracer probably means Drum for some reason. What do you think about Drum on that hero?
I'm not sure. I've never gone drums on that hero. I don't think it's very good because the hero doesn't have high movement speed. Well, I guess he has... Oh, actually, he has decent movement speed. But I don't know. It's just not an item that you typically buy on Silencer because you don't really care about the stats that much. You'd rather go rush a mech or a force staff to give you some mobility instead of just the pure stats.
Right, and I agree with you there. I think that Drum maybe not the best option.
Oh, in bottom lane.
Yeah, there's going to be a huge gank. Torrent just going to barely miss. Spectral Dagger Silence as well is going. It's been used by KZZ. They want this kill. They should be able to get it. TP rotation is going to come in. Plasma Field doing some damage, but not enough. Infinity taking some damage. Looking for a static link. He's got enough mana to do so, but Infinity will back off, and they're going to take a nice gank there, and very good job. And that's going to provide some experience for KZZ. And I think this was the problem in the game for Eosin +4 2 days ago, is that they really didn't have the Bloodseeker participate in any ganks, just tried to farm, and essentially the team opposing them shut them down pretty effectively, a typical mistake. So that being said, everything looking okay right now in terms of, let's look at the graphs real quick. 500 experience going to the Dire, gold, 500 going to the Radiant, so everything's pretty even at this point, despite, you know, some early kills here.
Yeah, it's not that surprising. I mean, the experience advantage is just basically the Bloodseeker jungling, and the gold is from the offensive tri-lane is farming very good compared to the sniper. So, and all the solo lanes are pretty even, except the SF was actually doing a really good job against Spectre until he got ganked, and actually he might die right now.
Clairvoyance looking for. Oh man, yeah, he just
doesn't
goes
even
down.
need to hit the race.
Yeah, there was one raise, and it didn't even matter. Rorgak, I think, still had his damage stolen. And so a nice gank coming in from the Hydra. Rorgak's still in the bottom lane right now. As you can see, kind of low in health. He'll survive. He'll buy boots. Unless KZZ wants to go for that kill. He's thinking about it. He's below 30%, I believe, on the Razor. So I'm not sure if KZZ has a point in... Yeah, he does have a point in that Thirst. So it's actually 20%,
he had no
though.
chance of killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if he saw him, like, what's he going to do? He's going to run up to him and cast Silence, and then he's going to be like, oh, I tried to attack you once, maybe.
Yeah, and then he just gets killed eventually. But KZZ is going to be level 6 relatively soon. He's actually just down here in the bottom jungle, aggressively jungling, just trying to get last hits, trying to get levels as well. He'll be 5. 6 is really what you're looking for on that Bloodseeker, just to get Rupture right now. Level 7 for the Silencer, of course. Level 7 for the Death Prophet as well. So Exorcism is available, as well as the Global Silence. Speaking of the Death Prophet right now, in some trouble, there's going to be, of course, the Skeleton King. Stun right now. Last word going as well. Not enough damage. Oh, but the Glaive just at the end from the Silencer will get the kill. Death Prophet will fall. Universe is going to TP in a little too late. Does not actually have Assassinate. If he did, he probably might have been able to get a kill, especially on that Skeleton King, who is unfortunately only level 3 right now. So 3-2 the score. Meanwhile, Haunt, they actually want to go in this. Assassinate is going to fly now. It is going to hit, and that is going to be the kill. So that's what I was talking about. The Haunt was just used to get the vision. Very nice usage of the Haunt there from Clairvoyance. Very effective usage of Haunt.
Yeah, that was a good kill, and they definitely needed that because Universe, if he didn't get that kill, he would have just wasted a TP, basically.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's a good thing he did get that kill.
Yeah, he's not getting much at top lane, but you still don't, when you're playing a carry, you don't want to TP somewhere and get nothing out of it.
Waste of 135 gold.
And we got some action bottom. It looks like the Spectre's going down, and they're going to turn this gank around.
Skeleton can get a kill on the Clairvoyance right now, and Infinity in some trouble as well. He'll fall. Shadow Fiend getting that kill. 4 heroes down in the bottom lane right now, and so they just take 2 kills away from Infinity plus 4. This leaves some room for KZ to farm up, get level 6 as well, and get some treads, as well as the Death Prophet to maybe farm a little bit more. But now mid lane, you can see Razor is here. Sniper in the meantime, rotating down bot, uses Assassinate to get a kill on the Shadow Fiend. Did not see that. Meanwhile, they're going to smoke right back in and look for a kill on Universe. Universe, I think, knows this is happening, but he doesn't have a TP. He just used it. Universe has no way of escaping right now. He's in some trouble here. Yeah, he's going to die. There's going to be, of course, that Hellfire Blast. It's going to hit. Universe in some trouble. Fun. He's going to use his ult as well. The Nether Strike is going to hit. Universe, if he can get out of this, I'd be surprised, but the charge, they're just chaining their stuns very effectively. So nice job coming out from both Fun as well as from Broccoli. Going to take that kill. Coming down here is Bananas in your face a little too late. Has a DD rune, however, so can potentially dish out some damage, and we'll see what happens here. Meanwhile, Smoke Gang coming in from the side of Clairvoyance, as well as Infinity. They're going to look for a kill top, it looks like, but KZZ is very low in health. He's going to go down to the Curse of the Silent, and will do so. TP coming in now, this time from Bananas in your face. Oh, just barely missing is, of course, that Crypt Swarm right now. There's going to be X marks the spot. Nice Torrent as well, and Felony's going to go down for that trade. So 1-for-1 trade, but Felony does die. And they get more experience because of the fact that Felony is higher level, a little bit more farmed, whereas KZZ, barely 6. He does have his Rupture. Infinity pauses the game. He's got to help his dad with something. It's very nice of him.
I think it's so funny in this mode because there's so much movement and ganking because no one knows what to do. I actually think that's why they do it so much, because everyone is so lost. Because if you think about it, if you're playing these heroes and you're like a support Spirit Breaker or a support Skeleton King or something, you can't just sit in the lane. Like, you have to make something happen. It's just really funny to watch.
It's like no one ever plays these heroes in these kind of roles, and you're just like, well, I guess I'm gonna roam now, and I guess I'm gonna look for a kill. I guess we're gonna go top. No, let's go mid. And it's just like, I don't know. It's very strange to see these type of heroes in this scenario. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, but
it makes sense though, because almost none of them have any laning presence. So if they just sit in the lane, they're not going to accomplish anything. In typical NA Dota pause,
Yeah. Seeing one of these a game. What a player.
What a player.
Infinity. What a player. He's got a pause just to help his dad. What a player.
He actually doesn't have any Tidebringer.
Really?
But, I mean, when you have a team like this, you need at least one reliable disable.
Right.
And X plus Torrent gives you that. So.
Yeah, you talked about it. I mean, I think it'd be more acceptable if he was like a farming Kunkka to have Tidebringer, but obviously he's not. So, like you said, he needs the X marks, he needs the Torrent, and get those stuns, and he's gotten them. I mean, the disables are there, so there's that. Looking at the graphs real quick, I want to make sure that I show these before we get back into the game. 1,500 experience going to Eosin plus 4 and 2,000 gold right now, so they've got a nice lead. And but I think I probably take maybe Infinity +4's later stages of the game if it goes long enough. On top of that, if they decide to fight as 5, they have Exorcism. They have plenty of damage here as well. The problem, I think, is going to be Bloodseeker and how he's going to be utilized. KZZ is a great player, but I don't know how well he's going to be able to play a Bloodseeker who's been jungling and only been participating in like 1 or 2 kills. So
I think the main problem that 2 Infinity is going to have is that this Spectre was completely shut down bottom. And if you've ever played a Spectre where you have a bad start, I mean, and especially when you have heroes like this who can't create space for you, like this Spectre could have huge problems. What's Spectre going to do if an SF gets a Lothars, or if the Spirit Breaker just charges at him? Like, he's going to have a lot of trouble, unless they start maybe taking towers and such. But I don't actually think their team fight is better right now, because Eosin actually has a lot of anti-push. They have raises and the static or the plasma field from Razor, which is actually level 1, so just kidding.
But still, I understand what you're saying, though, and that's true. But at the same time, you think that they have better team fight even under an Exorcism? Like, if Death Prophet pops an Exorcism, do you think that Eosin still has a chance at a team fight?
They can't fight into Exorcism, but I think what's going to end up happening most likely is that the fight's not going to start off as a clean 5v5. It's going to be more like the Spirit Breaker charges and they pick someone off, and then it becomes a 4v5, which they can definitely fight. So absolutely. I think that's more likely as to how it's going to go. But obviously, I think if they group up as 5 and then pop the Exorcism, there's no way that Eosin can actually fight into it. They can clear all the creeps though. So.
Speaking of fighting into Exorcism right now, it is popped up in the top lane. They're going to try to take this tower. Crypt Swarm as well, doing a nice job of pushing and killing this creep wave here. Clairvoyant's going to try to take some of these last hits. This will be a tower gone up in the top lane. Meanwhile, they're going to try to trade mid. Both teams using fortification here. KZZ is here. I don't know how many people have TPs. They're just going to rotate right through Infinity and Universe. Infinity can TP there right now if he wants to. Universe is going to have to hoof it as he does not have a TP up. It is on cooldown, as you can see. But it looks like they're all backing for the time being. That they're having a tough time taking this tower, but that's partially because they're split pushing. You can see Shadow Fiend's down bottom, getting plenty of farm. He's got treads. He's got plenty of money, by the way. And we'll see what he wants to go for next. And he's got 1,800 gold in the bank. As you can see, Haunt's going to go. And it looks like they want to fight bottom right now. There's going to be Rupture on the Hydra. Stun going in. Hellfire Blast this time on a KZZ. The Rupture not going to be enough to stop that TP, unfortunately. Infinity's coming after Fun as well as the Skeleton King. Does not have enough mana for his ult, but they're going to back and they're going to stop pursuing this, unfortunately. I think they could have gotten a few kills there, but they just aren't able to catch up to them. And they could have potentially dove past the tier 1 tower. They decided against it, however.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for them. They TP'd and rotated everyone bottom, and they didn't get a single kill for it. That was a really good TP by the SF.
I agree. I mean, I don't know what Kizuzi was thinking about rupturing. I'm not sure. But meanwhile, Universe taking some damage. There's going to be another strike as well. Universe in some trouble. Last word's going to go, and Silencer will get the kill. Just toggle your mic back on and off. If you
Okay,
can.
I'll try it again.
I mean...
I can see... Oh, actually... Huh. I like it when I go to the open mic thing. I can see the green when I talk.
Right.
So that means I'm talking, right?
Well, it means that your mic's enabled in Dota, I think, and it can be heard. But there's a bug that you have to turn your mic on and off. You know what? I'm gonna unmute co-broadcasters real quick because I want to see if I can hear you.
All right, can you hear me now? Does it work?
Yeah, I think so. Say something again.
Hello? Hello? Oh, yep. I know what happened.
You're good. You're good.
I had voice enabled 0, which means that it mutes myself as well, I guess, as other people.
Okay.
Right.
Well, guys, we got it figured out. It's good to go. You can now hear F4L's voice in-game. Say hello to the people in-game, F4L.
Hello.
Okay. Now bottom lane. SK's in some trouble. He does have his ult already, and you can see this is a bait actually coming. Fun's going to charge right in, but here's KZZ. Global Silence used. Nice timing there. They're going to turn this around. Clairvoyance is getting that static link going. Plasma Field's going as well. That's a lot of damage being stolen. There's, of course, the Bloodseeker ult onto Roragak. Roragak going to fall. KZZ, however, in some trouble. Might go down next. Haunt's going to fly. Universe in some trouble. Hellfire Blast going as well. No ult this time, of course, for Broccoli right now. He's going to try to TP out. Will he make it is the question. Netherstrike getting the kill on Universe, but he dove very far back. The Hydra, Crypt Swarm, One more last click should do the job. Meanwhile, double kill, of course, this time for Fun, but here comes, he's going to charge out. Fun will get away. Bottom lane. Oh, Bananas in your face is in trouble. Felony also in some trouble as he's taking tower damage to the face. He'll back off. Will he be okay is the question. The Crypt Swarm, not enough. The silence, the curse of the silent, it's going. Bananas in your face might go down. Silence is going to miss. How is this fight going so poorly for the side of Infinity? They have gotten so close to killing so many heroes, and it just did not work. Unbelievable.
I think their main problem right now is DPS. They have none of their heroes deal any damage. Like, I think 80% of their damage right now is just the Death Prophet ult and the Crypt Swarm spam and Universe's Shrapnel. But none of the other heroes are actually doing any damage in the fights. The Spectre doesn't have anything. Bloodseeker, well, he's a Bloodseeker. And Infinity doesn't have Tidebringer. So unless he lands like Torrent and Ship on one or two people, they're actually, I think, going to have a lot of trouble winning fights.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, especially after seeing that previous fight. I was a little skeptical, to say the least, about, you know, the team fighting ability of Eosin's team. And Bananas plus 4, or excuse me, Infinity plus 4. I mean, it looked good for a little while during that team fight, and then it sort of went to crap. They got the kill on Rorgak, but everything after that was the Spirit Breaker actually being very effective with Nether Strike, I think, is part of the problem. On top of that, he's got his Urn done, he's got Treads, he's going to charge, look for a gank on Bananas in your face, and he's probably going to die. Hellfire Blast is actually going to be used on Universe, so they probably can't get a kill now, and so never mind about that. So they're going to look for an initiation down bottom here.
So one thing to note, the SF did make a Shadow Blade, so he has that right now, and they don't have any detection.
Oh, X marks to the spot on Razor right now. It's going to hit up with a Torrent. Ghost Ship's going to fly as well. And, of course, the ultimate from the Bloodseeker, the Rupture, Hellfire onto Bananas in your face, of course. Global Silence is used. Is there an ult for the Skeleton King? Absolutely not. 2 down on both sides right now. The Hydra doing a lot of damage using that Requiem of Souls. And Clairvoyance trying to go into Silencer, but the charge from Fun. Clairvoyance is all alone right now. That's 4 down on the side of Infinity plus 4. And KZZ looking for a kill, not going to find it. He'll back off. Smartly, I might add. And once again, a team fight that starts out really well for Infinity plus 4, but ends poorly.
Yeah, and a lot of that was just, they didn't know that SF had a Shadow Blade, so he just walked in and Requiem, like, right under 4 heroes.
Yep.
It did so much damage, and then he got a double raise off on, I think, 2 heroes. So that was, he basically just killed 3 heroes instantly. Yeah. Even with the ship's damage reduction.
And that was a good ship too. That was a very good ship. So
ship is actually a really underrated spell. Not even if you hit it, but if your whole team runs through ship, they get a damage buffer, so you don't take 300 at level 1, 400 and 500 damage. So it's actually really crazy how good that skill is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty nice.
It's like having, that's better than a mech.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's a bold statement, but I'll have to agree with you.
It's better than a mech.
That's a pretty bold statement. That's pretty bold. I mean,
well, I just mean in a straight up team fight, it's better than a mech. Obviously, it's not better than a mech because it's not a burst heal. Like, you have to run through it and like cast it.
In certain scenarios, I understand, but you know, I got you. I see what you're saying. Death Prophet right now, very close to level 11. That level 2 Exorcism is going to be very nice to have. Checking out the levels for some of the other heroes. Level 11-4, of course, the Shadow Fiend, as well as the Silencer. So that's level 2 Global Silence, level 2 Requiem of Souls. And those are some big ults, by the way. And now, they're getting creative here on the side of the Radiant. And they're looking up on the high ground. They're going to try to bait with Rorgak here and maybe just go right on top of Universe. They're just going to charge straight through, dive the tier 2 tower. Universe, Nether Strike, and Universe is going to die for sure. Haunt's going to come in a little too late. I don't know if they're going to fight this right now. X marks on Fun. It's going to hit with the Torrent as well. Crypt Swarm's going to hit on Fun. Rupture. Fun in some trouble right now. There's going to be the Spectral Dagger, and Fun is going to go down. Oh, the Static Link, it gets broken immediately. They cannot fight this, but oh, there's a buyback coming in from Fun. He's going to look for a kill here. KZZ's got no mana. Rupture's already gone. Exorcism, not enough mana to be used. Magic 1 charges might be enough. He's about 40 mana away. Needs some mana desperately. That's not going to help out with that last word, as you can see. Clairvoyance, X-Mart's going on to the side of the Silencer this time around. They might just back off. So 1-for-1 trade, but a buyback coming out from Fun. They would maybe want to try to push this tier 2 tower, but not going to happen just yet.
Yeah, and this isn't looking good to Infinity.
No, it really isn't. I mean, they've lost every team fight thus far. 79 last hits for a Shadow Fiend is pretty good, on top of the fact he's already got a Blade of Alacrity as well, so he'll probably be going for a Yasha relatively soon. There's going to be a TP coming in this time around from, of course, the Kunkka. Infinity's looking for an initiation. Global Silence is going to go. Curse of the Silent as well. Mech is already up. I'm not sure on who. And Fun's charging in as well. KZZ's in some trouble. The Ghost Ship's going to fly. Requiem of Souls doing a ton of damage. KZZ might fall. Everybody's low on Infinity. Death Prophet has to back off. He's got his Exorcism. Nether Blast is going to go, so that's going to alleviate the problem.
Clairvoyance is stuck on the cliff.
Clairvoyance, you are in a awkward position. That is weird. That shouldn't happen. I'm not sure how that happened, but...
I think he daggered, and right as dagger ran up, that's where he stopped.
Can they see him? They can't see him.
I think they know he's there because someone... I think he plasma fielded. Oh, well, now they know where he is.
Well, it doesn't matter, but now he's going to go on Rorgak, but he needs to back up. There's 3 heroes right next to him. So... Alright.
I don't know what they can... They can try to maybe... The problem right now that they're going to have... They need to split push with... like the Sniper and Spectre. But the problem that they're having right now is that the Spear Breaker can just charge on them and kill them, like solo kill them, because he's so far ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is really far ahead right now. He's sitting at level 11. Looking at his net worth right now, he's sitting at 5,000, which is right about third, which is very good considering the Silencer is only above him by a little bit, and of course the Shadow Fiend, who's had free farm bottom, a ton of kills, by the way, with Requiem of Souls and things of that nature, and just getting farm with the raises as well. Has a Shadow Blade, has a Yasha right now, so Infinity has to turn this around somehow, but I don't know how that's going to happen. The Global Silences have been great, the Requiems have been great, KZZ might get opened up on here by Nihydra. Yep, there it goes, KZZ in some trouble. There's going to be Last Word and Curse of the Silent, and he's going to die immediately. And a little too far out of position for him, so Felony will take that kill. Nice job there. They're going to try to go for top tower, and they're going to take it. That's a tier 1 tower. Fun will get the kill on that as well. He's going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter, as you can see, going for Point Booster, as well as the Ogre Club. Bottom lane getting pressured here a little bit with, of course, the Death Prophet and Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance trying to get some farm here, sitting at only 41 last hits. He's had a tough time here. Now TP rotations. Hellfire Blast is available for the Skeleton King, by the way. He's also got Arcane Boots, which can make him a little bit speedier, but charge going into Clairvoyance. They want to try to take a fight here. Hellfire Blast, long range going to hit. Spectral Dagger is going to go. This charge still available. It's going to go right through the trees. Meanwhile, Crypt Swarm on the backside coming from Bananas in your face. Fun, thinking twice about that charge. Will back off. He's taking some pop shots from Universe. Universe only at level 2 headshot right now. He's going to keep going back. Shadow Fiend getting the kill on the tower.
They're losing top during all of this, and they're going to keep going top.
Yeah,
they're going to have to go back, but a lot of them TP bottom, so I don't know.
They can't defend that.
Death Prophet has a TP.
Yeah, but
they
she
have
can't do it on him.
TPs, so.
They can't do it. Well, if they have 3, they can potentially... They'll be able to defend this, but they have to leave some heroes out to high and dry right now, one of them being Universe. KZZ's going to come in here, he's going to try to rupture, and it's honestly just going to make everything worse. Universe is dead, and KZZ did not save his life. KZZ should have just ran at that point. Hellfire Blast Silence is gone on KZZ. Clairvoyance is here as well. He haunted in, but KZZ will fall potentially. No, not yet. Skeleton King has his ult right now. Clairvoyance going to go down. Torrent's going to fly. Fun silenced up as well. Nice silence going in. Good boat ship going in right now. Ghost ship, excuse me. Bananas in your face has Exorcism available. Not anymore. Mana's gone as the last word, of course. Hellfire Blast going right now, and another kill going Felony, and of course a double kill for the Shadow Fiend, and that's a team web going. Infinity +4, they're gone. Eosin, they're going to take a tier 2 tower and perhaps even go for tier 3 or Roche at this point. And it is looking bad for Infinity. I don't think there's any way they can really come back from this. And in fact, they agree with me. They call GG in a very quick game, 21 minutes into the game. And man, was that that was a really interesting game and very well played by Eosin +4. I got to say, really well played.
Yeah, they played well. I think a lot of the problems they had was from the draft. And actually, it's kind of funny. Like this mode, I think most of the games are going to be won during the draft. Like, while it might be hard to think about the draft and theory craft about it, most of these games are won at the draft because it's really hard to win after you lose lanes because no one's going to give you team fight mechanics where you can wombo combo, or you have this amazing split pushing hero that can just, you know, split push all the time while you're fighting 4v5 or something.
Right.
So it's really hard to win after the laning phase. So most of these games just come down to picks, and the Spirit Breaker and the SF, I mean, they just did whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they really did, and that was a perfect example of SF getting some farm and the Spirit Breaker getting some kills, participating in some ganks. Regardless, that's going to do it for us tonight. I know it's only one game as opposed to the 3 games we had yesterday. Still, it's been a lot of fun for you guys. We'll be back. I'm not sure when the next game is. We'll keep you updated, whether through a Reddit post, on Twitter, things like that. Speaking of Twitter, if you enjoyed the cast, follow us here on twitch.tv/NeoDota. I'd like to thank all of our in-game viewers. I'd like to thank Ham Sandwich as well. Follow us at twitch.tv/NeoDota, twitter.com/NeoDota2, youtube.com/NeoDota2. I'd like to thank F4L for joining me. F4L, can they find you anywhere?
Yeah, on Twitter at FRLDota and Twitch at Twitch at FRLDota and Twitter at FRLDota.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Once again, my name is Maut, and if you want to follow me, you can follow me at twitter.com/MautDota2. And we will be back sometime soon. Not sure with what. Don't know about Mad tomorrow, so I'm not sure if that is going on or not, but we'll keep you guys posted and stuff. Thank you for joining us, guys. Have an excellent night, everybody.